What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic, and today, as usual, we're going to continue the book by Cicero on the ideal orator. It's going to be the seventh part of the third book. So let's get started. The chapter is called Style, Words, and Content. Because of your authority and your friendship, Crassus has begun, and because Antonius has been so obliging, I am deprived of the possibility of refusing, even though my case for doing so is very strong. Nevertheless, in assigning the parts for our discussion, when he took it upon himself to deal with the things an orator must say, while leaving it to me to discuss how they must be given a distinguished style, he divided two things that cannot exist separately. For since all discourse is made up of content and words, the words cannot have any basis if you withdraw the content, and the content will remain in the dark if you remove the words. For my part, I have the impression that those great men of the past, having grasped in their minds something of a higher order, have thereby seen much more than our mind's eye today is able to contemplate. They said that all the universe above and below us is in unity and is bound together by a single natural force and harmony. For there is nothing in the world of whatever sort that can either exist in its own, if it is served from all other things, or that can be dispensed with by the or other things if they are to preserve their own force and eternal existence. But if these conceptions seems too vast for mortal senses or thought to comprehend, there is also this true saying of Plato's, which is certainly familiar to you, Catullus, that all the teachings of our noble and humane arts are held together by one common bond, since once it is perceived how forceful and the method is on which the knowledge of causes and outcomes is based, there emerges, so to speak, an agreement and harmony between all disciplines that is quite extraordinary. But if these also seems too lofty for us to be able to raise our eyes to it, in our lowly position upon the ground, we should at least know and understand that which we have embraced, the profession we lay claim to, the task we have taken upon ourselves. For as I said yesterday, and as Antonius indicated at several points in the morning's conversation, eloquence forms a unity into whatever realms of areas of discourse it travels, whether it is speaking about the nature of the heavens or of the earth, or about divine or human nature, whether in trials in the Senate or from the rostra, whether its purpose to urge people on, or to teach them, or to deter them, or to steer them into curb them, or to kindle their emotions, or to calm them, whether its audience be few or many, or strangers, or one's friends, or oneself. Speech is like a river, branching out into little streams, yet issuing from the same source, and in whatever direction it goes, it is attended by the same equipment and adornment. But we are now laboring under the opinions not only of the crowd, but also of how educated people they find it easier to deal with things they cannot grasp in their entirety, if they split them apart and almost tear them to pieces, and they separate words from thoughts just like a body from its soul, which in both cases can only wreak destruction. In my discussion, therefore, I will undertake no more than is assigned to me. I would only indicate briefly that discovering words for distinguished style is impossible without having produced and shaped the thoughts, and that no thought can shine clearly without the enlightening power of words. Alright, guys, so it was quite a long part, and we're going to continue tomorrow on the next one. Thank you for joining me in this reading session. See you tomorrow. Bye.